Redditors share the most ridiculous thing an ex ever said to them to win them back. He didn't get off, so it wasn't cheating, said after catching her ducking another guy in my bed. She said she was going to end herself and tell everyone I'd taken advantage her in her self-destruction note if I didn't take her back. I screenshotted the conversation and emailed one copy to her mom, one to her dad and a third copy to the local police. I don't negotiate with vile people. I didn't love you then, but I love you now. V. You cheated on me 2 days ago. What a coincidence. I loved you then, but I sure don't now. I know I cheated, but your D was better than his. Edit. Well, I come home from work and this crap escalated. Even got gold, thanks you pieces of crap. I was thinking about you the whole time. Tried the old fake pregnancy to keep me around, only thing is I'm the female. I'm not sure how he thought he could convince me I was pregnant. I'm pregnant. Wait, no, that doesn't make sense. You're pregnant. I mean, I knew I wasn't pregnant, but he just seemed so sure. Well, she started the apology off by punching me in the back of the head. Is that not how you start an apology? No wonder people never seem to forgive me. It's forgive and forget. So if they don't forgive you, you keep punching them until they forget. If we break up, it's just a matter of time before you ask for your laptop back, and I use it for school, so I'm going to have to drop out and my kids are going to be raised in poverty. Do you really want that on your conscience? Edit. I lent him my extra laptop before I realized he bleeds all the women in his life dry of all their resources. I wasn't about to let him keep it after the crap he put me through. I got my laptop back when we broke up and he destroyed the power cord and messed up the laptop to the point that it wouldn't run. I fixed it, but lesson learned. Darn, that's some fine crazy logic right there. At school we asked to be let out of science early one day and our teacher said no, or else he would go to prison. Why? We asked. Because if the rector sees you lot walking past during school hours, he will fire me on the spot. I'll go home angry and kick the cat. Then my wife will start yelling at me and I'll hit her too. She'll call the police and I won't go down without a fight. He actually did end up letting us out early though. I once dated this guy who literally carved my name into his hand. He said he did it because he couldn't afford a tattoo. And when I broke up with him for it, he said, "But your name is carved into my hand." I'm not sure if that was supposed to mean me stay, or if he at that moment realized how stupid he was. I was once friends with a guy who told me he cut my name into his leg after I told him I had no interest in being in a relationship with him. He also told me about a bunch of other self-destruction and made me spend a good few nights, including a whole New Year's Eve, talking him out of self-destruction. Or so I thought, until a mutual friend stayed the weekend at his house, got a good look at both pristine and unscarred legs and arms, and reported this back to me. Little B made the whole thing up because it meant I'd spend hours telling him how much he mattered to people. He knew I was sensitive to it because my family had been extensively affected by it. If I'd had any sense at the time, I'd have called the police round to the family home for a welfare check the first time he did it. My new girlfriend is terrible. I miss you a lot. Like I sometimes regret leaving you. You are so much better than her. Just so you know, I'm going to dump her soon. After we go on vacation, because I'm using her miles to buy my ticket like. There are so many things wrong with that. And the vacation was 2 months away. I told him he had made decisions, so I didn't feel bad for the fact he missed me and never spoke to him again. My ex-husband did this to me. I didn't realize how much I was going to miss you. You understand me better? I call her your name all the time. We were so good together. 1 month before the divorce was final, after he left me to move in with his pregnant GF. I just started laughing at him. I couldn't stop. He got mad and left. Again, I got "I miss your cooking" from my weepy ex-husband, 2 months after he moved out. I guess 8 weeks of peanut butter on toast will break a man down. Had an ex tell me that if I did not take her back she would sue me. Long story short, I'm now a proud owner of a victory in court. Your Honor, I demand the plaintiff sleep with me and take me to dinner. Objection, Your Honor. Defendant is clearly pandering for the D. I had an ex do this to me too. Since OP did not respond, I'll tell my story. We were engaged and living together in a home that I purchased. My ex was paying rent to me towards the mortgage. When we broke up, obviously I kicked him out. When we met up to talk about things, he told me, "You know, I could sue you for kicking me out." He worked as a lawyer. Well, he moves out and gives me a list of things he wants back when he moves out. I give him everything on the list, including the engagement ring. I don't really think much of it until 3 months later when I get a letter delivered to my house from the court saying that he is suing me for over $10,000. His justification: he wanted all of the money back that he paid in rent because he thought that he was gaining equity since when we got married, the house would have been put into both of our names. In addition, he could only sell the engagement ring for half of what he had paid it for, so he wanted the difference back. He also wanted money for other items that he had never asked for back that were given to us as housewarming gifts. He claimed that they were wedding gifts, and since I had backed out of marrying him, he should get the money back for them. Long story short, I had to hire a lawyer who informed me that everything that he wanted had no basis in court and I had done exactly what was required of me by law by giving him back the ring. I think he was really just hoping it would scare me into paying him $10,000 to get him off my back. My lawyer wrote a letter back to him threatening to countersue if he did file a suit and basically saying how his claims had no legal ground whatsoever. I haven't heard from him again and it's been almost 3 years. Thank God we didn't actually get married though. I'm sure the legal fees from that divorce would have been way worse. He decided to make a grand gesture for my birthday, which was about 6 months after the breakup. He had a cake made in the shape of Australia. He had it shipped to me in a locked steamer trunk. Keys in the card. All of this was based off of a line from Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog: "She may cry but her tears will dry when I hand her the keys to a shiny new Australia." This is after I found out that I was the other woman, and I had started to date someone else. It was just painfully awkward. Side note, the cake was dry. Finally broke up with him after 3 years. His big gesture to get me back, an email about how he couldn't live without me, ended as follows: "I get now that you're not a promiscuous woman. That's why I treated you the way I did. I thought you were a promiscuous woman, but now I see you're not. Wow. Be still my beating heart." A month after we had broken up, I started dating a new guy. My ex told me that he would cut his hair to look like the new guy's, dress like the new guy, and act exactly like the new guy if I got back with him. Mine did this too. He was talking about getting colored contacts and everything. He'd never worn contacts in his life. Dang, that is far. I just missed the boy I used to know. Then she turned around and walked away. She later texted me, "I wanted you to run after me. You obviously missed the part where this was a Nicholas Sparks story and not real life." Oh man, I dated a girl like this. She broke up with me because she wanted to get back together on her birthday. It's not a movie. Get back together and break up on her birthday will show her who's boss. I'm just kidding. We are not really broken up. Me, what the duck, no sorry, that's not how this works. Edit, some more info. She broke up with me over the phone, during which I tried to rationalize why, how, what went wrong, etc. I talked with her for a good 30 minutes at least, but she was content on saying sorry, it's over. I rationalized and accepted and was ready to move on. Heart tender obviously, since the relationship was real for me at the time. At this point is when she said, "Just kidding. We are not really broken up. I was just testing you to see if you would fight for the relationship." I'm about to lost my crap. No, that's not how any of this works. I hate to break it to you, but your plan backfired. We really are broken up, because you do not test me like this. Not like this. Reminds me of my first serious boyfriend. I told him I was ending it and he just smiled and said no. Took me a couple days to convince him I actually meant yes. I had an ex do that for a week in high school. She still met me at my locker and tried holding my hand to class. Like, what the duck are you doing? After telling me she didn't love me, leaving the kids with a friend whilst I was at work so she could go get drunk with her male friend, getting drunk whilst throwing my son a birthday party and texting her male friend whilst locking herself in her bedroom and letting the other parents run the party for her, I was at work. The final straw came when she told me I wasn't invited to a party her brother was throwing, so I had to stay home to watch the kids. She had left herself logged onto social media, so her sexual messages to her male friend were pinging up every minute or so until he told her the taxi was outside. I changed the locks that night and packed her clothes and put them outside her mom's house. When she came home, she was screaming and throwing bricks at the house, so I told her if she didn't leave I'd call the police. Drum roll please. But you can't just turn off 10 years of marriage, you must still love me. I would have treated you better, except I thought you'd never leave me. Who says that to someone? Who does that to someone? Edit. After several replies, I began to realize there are a lot of Ds in the world who do this to their romantic interests. After a few more I realized it's even more common than I imagined. Worldwide comments of the day. No respect for a person who can walk away from her kids. Don't set yourself up for disappointment. Story 1. Run like your life depends on it. Ask the HR to relocate you and ghost her. She's garbage. First story, run. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more interesting and relatable Reddit videos.